Welcome back to the City Current Show. I'm your host, Jeremy Park. We're always honored to bring you inspiring stories of individuals and organizations making a difference, empowering the good. And in this case, we're talking about a nonprofit and some shoes with a higher purpose that give back and make a difference in so many ways. We're talking with Edward Bogard, our friend. He's the Philanthropic Designer, the founder and CEO of SoGiv. How are you doing?
Great, Jeremy. So good to see you again, my friend.
Absolutely. So wherever there is good, you are around indeed. And so let's start before we get into the current releases and some of the upcoming ones. Let's talk about the story for SoGiv. And so give us a little bit of the backstory for launching SoGiv.
Sure. So SoGiv was started in 2011. We just finished our 10th year. We're currently in our 11th year. The name was derived by our slogan, every pair sold we give. So taking the S-O out of sold and the G-I-V out of give. I graduated from the Savannah College of Art and Design with a BFA in product design. And I wanted to come back home and birth something amazing. So I just so happened to birth the world's first nonprofit shoe design company right here in Memphis. How cool is that?
Absolutely.
So the organization creates thought-provoking awareness shoes that are essentially conversation starters. I coined that one from you, by the way, from back in the day. But they're also mood boosters. I mean, whenever you put them on, they just make you feel good because you know that you're doing something good in the world and they're giving back, towards a worthy cause.
The other thing that I love about them is they tell a story, and to your point,
Yes.
The conversation starter. And so there's the higher purpose, but people love, when you talk about a fashion statement, but you also love being able to have a story that you're wearing. And so talk about it from that element of how you approach the design, the coloring, the story for the shoe, because each one has a different story to tell.
That's right. And I got to add that one to my vocab now. But yes, each one tell a story. And conceptually, I just delve into the organization's mission, their awareness colors that they fully embrace. I mean, it is essentially a branded awareness shoe tailored specifically for that organization. So I'll just use, human trafficking as an example. So that shoe was turquoise and teal. So creatively, I was inspired by Amy Hutchison's artwork, and she created an amazing abstract teal and orange painting. And I turned a canvas upper into a work of art. And that gave you the SoGiv human trafficking awareness shoe that embodied the awareness colors, but also helped to benefit our partners over at Restore Corps. The Mid-South Food Bank has the hand and the apple. And one pair of the SoGiv hunger awareness shoes provides 150 meals. So creatively, and for every $1 donated to the food bank is equivalent to 3 meals. So creatively, we were able to put that into what a SoGiv shoe retail for, thus giving you 150 meals every time you bought a pair of the SoGiv hunger awareness shoes. And here we are 13,000 plus meals later. We've been blessed to work with Steven Tyler from Janie's Fund, and what she autographed 100 pair. I heard Grammy Weekend to his top tier donors, Janie's Angels. So just really making an impact in that capacity, not only in Memphis, but globally around the world.
Yeah, and you alluded to, I think, something that's really important is these tell a story. They have the higher purpose, but they also help raise funds for these different nonprofits and causes. And so I think that's another major piece of this is that you're getting the story and the awareness out there and starting those conversations, but you're also, too, raising much needed funds for the organization. And you're baking in the hard cost of the philanthropy. So in other words, with every shoe, you're being able to contribute to that nonprofit. So talk about it from that aspect of the fundraising. Go ahead and carry that conversation forward on the fundraising side.
Absolutely. So you're getting something tangible in return. So you're not just asking your supporters for a charitable donation, but for a charitable donation, you're getting an amazing awareness shoe in return. So it's just a win-win for everyone. You know, they get a chance to talk about the organization that they contributed to. The marketing is broken down from like X, Y, and Z. And I'm going to just go back to the food bank. And it's tailored because every organization has their donor levels. So they typically start at 50, 100, 152 and go up. And we just tailor the marketing accordingly based upon what their donation tier levels are and what they provide. So I'll just, again, the food bank, one pair provides 150 meals. That's just as simple as, you know, we can put it. And that at the time was for a shoe that retailed for $50. The SoGiv espadrille. We've since advanced to the runners that are incredibly comfortable. They are Flyknit upper, popcorn outsole. They weigh less than an ounce. They're just stylish, and they have the memory foam insole. I mean, it's just amazing. And now we're able to make a bigger impact because these shoes start at 100 and up. So now we're able to make a bigger impact towards the bottom line and supporting the mission of the organizations in which we partner with.
And I think that's a cool piece of it too, is the technology, the evolution of the shoes themselves, which obviously creates more opportunities. But this isn't just a nice to have shoe that you're wearing for that purpose. Like, to your point, these are comfortable, they're practical. I mean, they are well produced and manufactured. So, I mean, like, you're getting a world-class shoe with a world-class story and impact. So it's definitely a whole different level. Talk about it from that vantage point, because, you know, this is obviously the design, the story, and those pieces, but it's also too a lot of logistics, operations, making sure that you're on the up and up with the research and development. So talk about it from a business lens of managing all of these different layers.
Absolutely. I mean, of course, COVID has made things difficult. So we have really hardly made a release date on time. So having to navigate, during that, and having supporters that are understanding, it has been great. And but everything does have to fall in line. From a manufacturing standpoint, production lead time is typically 30 to 45 days. And another 40 to 45 day port shipping lead time, which gets them back here to the US. Our manufacturers are based in China. I would love to bring manufacturing here to the US. That is a goal of mine, to bring manufacturing here to the US with the SoGiv awareness shoes. But logistically speaking, that's kind of, the rollout, and you have to plan the release accordingly. So say 60 to 90 days out, and give yourself some wiggle room to hit that release date. So with the SoGiv Orange Mound awareness shoes, the release date is scheduled for Saturday, October 29th, to coincide with the Round the Mound walk run in Orange Mound. So we're going to just shower Orange Mound with orange shoes to heighten the awareness for homeless awareness. And one pair eradicates homelessness in Orange Mound. And these are the SoGiv Orange Mound awareness shoes. It is the neon orange that has the reflective 3M stripe on the back for night runners. And also our SoGiv mark is also in 3M for your night runners. And the mark is actually symbolic of the entire world racing towards what we all believe is a finish line. And some of your more notable continents are Africa, North America. And so then it becomes a geography lesson to the kids that we mentor to in the community. And they're able to recite them. Sometimes you'll see an adult ducking when I call upon the kids to, and I'll just mess with an adult and I'll say, hey, what do you think? What's the next continent? And, so it's fun. But this shoe is inspired by the street. And a lot of people don't realize it, but, that's actually design elements taken from the street throughout the shoe design. So now whenever you're driving, you're going to think about my shoes. So, but homelessness takes place on the streets. All of your walk runs and 5Ks take place on the street. So that's the inspiration behind the SoGiv Street Awareness Runner shoes.
Yeah, and I think all of that just goes back to, like we were talking about, it's the story, like the
Yeah.
symbolism, and every shoe has not just one story but multiple stories. And I
Right.
think it's so cool, the thoughtfulness that you put into the shoes to carry those storylines forward. Go ahead and talk about some of the other upcoming releases.
Sure. So I'm wearing pink. I'm a real men wear pink for the American Cancer Society in October. So we're starting all the promo stuff early. We just finished our shoot and our lunch party. So to coincide with the Real Men Wear Pink, I have a SoGiv Pepto Pink awareness shoe that I created for Breast Cancer Awareness Month. And again, it has the breast cancer awareness ribbon here on the back. These were initially created for Janine Gordon, and she's a 3-time breast cancer survivor. So for her campaign and her campaign team, they donned these shoes during the campaign season throughout the city of Memphis to heighten the awareness for breast cancer. 3/17 is the date that she was diagnosed for the first time. And again, she's a 3-time breast cancer survivor. But Run World Change is our new campaign that we're in. And it's highlighting community change makers all over the world that's doing good. So that's our September release. We have the pre-releases going for Orange Mound. The October release is the Pepto Pinks. And November gives you the Ukraine awareness shoe that features the Ukraine flag in the back and front tabs of the shoe, and also the Ukraine flag there. And Run World Change. So that's what we're doing.
Yeah, and I love the fact that you're thinking locally, you're thinking globally. I mean, obviously the sky is the limit in terms of the potential of everything you're doing. And it goes to speak, I mean, obviously when you talk about the impact, as you mentioned, Real Men Wear Pink, you're a part of that campaign. But you've also top 40 under 40. So congratulations for that.
Thank you very much.
Yeah, I mean, you're getting all these, definitely well-deserved recognitions for everything you're doing. How does that help inspire you and continue to keep that fire lit? Because when you see the difference you're able to make, and obviously the appreciation that people are showing you, how does that help fuel your tank and inspire you?
I'm going to say, like with the SoGiv Salvation Army partnership, I failed to mention that the shoes are actually making a difference right now in Romania with their Romania chapters. So to see the SoGiv Salvation Army awareness shoes in front of the parliament with their captains posing, I mean, that's just so inspiring. And I just want to do more of that from a global standpoint. The Ukraine awareness shoes are going to benefit the recovery efforts in Ukraine with an organization that we partner with over there. So that just keeps me so inspired just to get up and see how I can outcreate my last creation. Right? I'm a philanthropic designer, so everything goes back towards a cause and heightening the awareness and changing the world through a shoe. I mean, literally, running world change, right? It's a running shoe. Of course, the world featured on the shoe. That's our mark. And change, because you're changing the world with these shoes. So that keeps me going. It keeps me inspired. It keeps me wanting to make a bigger impact and leave my footprint, no pun intended, in the world.
One step at a time. Yeah, see, we can
one step at a time. That's right.
Exactly. Talk about especially for nonprofits who say, wow, I want to work with you. How does that process begin?
Sure. So you can contact me various different ways. I mean, from our social media pages, Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, SoGiv, Edward at SoGiv.org. There's countless ways to reach me. And we'd love to work with nonprofits, to heighten the awareness and also raise funds to benefit their mission.
And then you mentioned, obviously, on the consumer side, for everyone being able to wear the shoes, purchase the shoes, and have those stories and higher purpose. Talk about where we can find the shoes, make the purchases. How can we engage?
Sure. So, I mean, honestly, I got to laugh at this one because I just came off of the FedEx St. Jude Classic, the World Golf Championships. And so, long story short, I told you this, but everyone watching, I'm the first African American announcer in the tournament's 65-year history. Mr. Ken Weatherford, who's the chairman of the tournament, is the voice of the tournament for the past 42 years, brought me on board last year. So I just wrapped my second season with them on the first tee. But I wore a different pair of SoGiv awareness shoes, and orders were going crazy, like globally, because people from all over the world come to that tournament. So you have PGA Tour photographers telling me to stand this way, lift your pants up, do this, do that. I mean, so who knows, where those pictures end up. Yeah, you can, and I mean, that's one of the ways. I mean, I'm wearing the shoes all the time. You have different people wearing the shoes, just globally. I saw the shoes featured, man, I think it was in Greece. A guy had on a pair of my shoes. It was nuts, and I'm still not used to that. They were featured again in Times Square by another supporter. It's just so exciting to see that, and it just keeps me going. It just keeps me going. I don't know.
Absolutely.
It's hard to put into words.
Yeah, and I don't know that you'll ever get used to seeing it everywhere in the world, especially globally. Right. That's so awesome. So wrap up. You mentioned it already, but wrap up with website, social media. Where do we go to learn more and start getting involved with SoGiv?
Absolutely. So SoGiv.org. That's SOGIV, no E, .org. Is how you go to purchase shoes, apparel, the hats, the tees. Is how you basically contact me. There's a section on the site, if you scroll to the bottom, to press contact and to partner, basically. And you fill out the form and someone will return your message within 24 hours to begin the conversation on how to partner and create an awareness shoe for your organization and your mission that you champion. And again, website, SoGiv.org, at More Than a Shoe is Instagram, SoGiv is Facebook and Twitter. And LinkedIn is also the SoGiv Foundation. So that's how you contact me to partner and create some amazing awareness shoes for your organization.
Edward, greatly appreciate and love everything you're doing.
Thank you.
Thank you for being a change maker, and thank you for coming on the show.
Thank you very much, Jeremy. It's always a pleasure.